Mm, okay, so I think this room or
afternoon, Prof. Good afternoon, Prof.
Obaka, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
How now?
I'm good.
All right. So welcome to this meeting. I'm expecting Dr. Folabi Olokore to join us.
Okay, Prof.
But before he joins, you can just brief me about what you are doing. You are. Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So, what did you say, Prof? I
How-
should give you a brief of what I'm doing,
One
right?
of my friend, Dr. Folabi Olokore, to join. But before he joins,
Okay.
just brief me about what you are doing in terms of your thesis, and then where you are, and then what issue are you facing.
Okay. As I said, or as I said to you, my topic is the impact of digital trade on economic performance in Nigeria. So I have already written down chapter one, although just a sketch, because chapter one, chapter one it's supposed to be a summary of the whole work, but I'm able to just wrote this statement of the problem and the objectives, and I have also started writing theoretical literature review, and I also did some review on methodology. I'm currently writing or looking at the theoretical. So basically, what I intend doing is to see how, first of all, is to measure, systematically measure the, the, the digital threat in Nigeria. That's how big it is. Although I know it will be very challenging because even in the literature, I observed that measuring digital threat is very cumbersome, and there is no yet a developed way of doing that. Although OECD, in conjunction with INF and WTO, have provided or have developed a framework upon which scholars or countries can develop a digital trade index or can measure their own digital trade development. So I want to first of all see how I can develop an index of digital trade in Nigeria, and then see how such an index, the impact of such an index on economic performance. The economic performance here, I want to look at specifically the total factor productivity first. And even this total factor productivity, I want to see if I can I can I can I can go further to look at the green total factor productivity, not just total factor productivity. So I want to factor issues of environment or issue of carbon emission that in the measurement of PF. Then and this PFE, I want to look at cross sectoral level and aggregate level. Then I want to go further and look at the impact of this digital threat on into low carbon intensity jobs. So I just don't want, what I observe most of the literature that I observe, they 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 are they focus on economic growth, and we know there is now a, a change of focus globally, that the issue of economic growth, the issue of growth should be more encompassing. That is, we have to be talking about inclusive growth, sustainable economic growth, and all that. So because of that, I want to look at the impact of this digital trade on low carbon inclusive growth or high quality inclusive growth. So in essence, I just don't want, I'm trying to look at growth or development in broader perspective, not just per capita GDP or just economic growth. So in brief, this is just what I want to do, and as I said, I have already sketched down chapter 1 in the form of technical problem and the objective. I'm now in chapter 2 and
Professor Bright.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I went to the restroom. So you can continue.
Yeah. So Abba, are you done?
Yeah. So briefly, in summary, this is just what I have done so far, and this is the what I want.
I was actually straining my hair to hear you, but let me just speak one or two things that you have said.
Okay.
So you said you have started, you started your introduction and you are your literature review, right?
Yes, sir.
And that you are methodologically you are considering of computing an index or something.
Yeah. I want to see if I can develop an index of digital trade.
Index of
digital trade.
Okay, digital trade, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you want to look at the impact of that index on economic performance.
Right.
Okay, so my first question is that the index you are talking about, have you been able to look around data availability to construct that index?
Yeah, honestly speaking, the data is a serious issue on that. So what I'm doing right now, because as I said, there is a developed framework from the WTO, OECD, and IMF. They have developed a framework based on which countries or researchers can develop an index of research. So I'm seriously looking at the framework and see if I can have such, I'll be able to get all the information or all the data that can be part of that framework. So that is what I am now. But honestly speaking, I know there are some aspects of the data that will not be available because most of the developing countries, the African countries.
So what can you name one or two variables that you are thinking of?
Like maybe digital infrastructure, so the broadband technology, the submarine cables network, and
okay, that's fine. I'm straightening my hair to hear clearly. Sorry, that's fine. I'm straightening my hair to hear clearly. I don't know, got my system. I don't know, but truth. Let me just say one or two things that I will have Dr. Falabi to also speak.
Okay.
Because I don't, my laptop is wavering, so I'm not really hearing. So from your topic, right, for which is digital trade. In my mind, I'm just thinking economic performance is fine. In my mind, I'm thinking that if you are talking about digital trade, your interest basically will be trading service kind of a thing, which basically is facilitating trade through digital platform, right? So that's what I'm thinking that should be digital trade. How do we facilitate trade seamlessly through a digital way, which basically is more of ICT facilitated trade across Africa, kind of a thing. Not necessarily, because care is not taken. Digital trade can also mean products that are digital across countries, right? Which is different, which is like somebody buying an ICT related product across countries. But the other way is to say, can we not look at, trade facilitation with regards to digital products, okay, which are a number of them, like, which is more of like e-commerce kind of a thing, where somebody can buy something from AliExpress or buy something from Jumia, and then it gets to you wherever you are, which is digital facilitated trade processes, which are more services than buying the product itself. So that clarity is so critical so in my mind, I'm just thinking, why do you now want to now construct index for that? Is what I just wanted to get clarity. But let him just leave it. Maybe Afo can then let Afo come in. I don't know Afo, you hear him very clearly. Dr. Afo, can you hear me? Dr. Afo.
Hello, Tom. Yes. I can go ahead, please. I'm also learning. Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying his topic is on digital trade, on economic performance. Can you hear me? And he was saying to construct an index. So in my mind, I'm wondering the purpose of the index, because his discussion with regards to index is trying to look at.
Just go on. Just give me 2 minutes. I want to just pick something downstairs. Just 2 minutes.
Just pause. Okay, so Abubakar, so do you get my point? My point is that if you're talking about digital trade, there are two things that come to my mind. Two things, without constructing an index. Two things. One is digital trade with regards to products that are digital, right? So somebody buying something that is digital across border, and then it comes in as import or as export. That is one. The other one is that digital trade as a trade facilitation, which is that somebody buys a product through Amazon, for instance. That's the digital trade, which is an e-commerce kind of a thing, which is trade facilitation or a service, a product. I don't know that is it noise from your background? Or
I got it. I got you right, sir, and you are very right. There are, as I said, there are, based on that framework, or based on this feature rates, there are.
Is that you want to construct an index?
Yes, but it's just part of it. There are many other components, which I said, which are like the digital infrastructure. So it's like the index is just like a comprehensive capturing of all aspects that relates to digital trade, not just the normal e-commerce transactions, or maybe the digitally delivered services, or digitally delivered goods.
So because you know why I asked that question, because I think I'm trying to remember in my mind there is one index that is already constructed on technology penetration or something. I'm trying to look at. I think I've come across something like that has to do with. I know Dr. Ford deals with that, so he will understand better, or he will know it better. But there's what I think there's what we call internet penetration, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because when we talk about digital, because sometimes when you talk about you can be looking at internet infrastructure than trade if care is not taken, and they are not the same thing. So if it's infrastructure, which is more of a technological infrastructure, that's a different thing than digital trade. If it's technological infrastructure, we can now begin to talk about infrastructure that is available with regards to which is internet access or internet penetration, and several of these internet technology infrastructures that are available, which I know people have done the impact of technology infrastructure on economic performance, which is different from digital trade. And if you talk about digital trade, you are talking more on, because if you talk about technology infrastructure, maybe you are thinking, because if you identify a number of them, can I construct an index among all of them, right, as a representative, which is fine, but that is technological infrastructure. But if you're talking about digital trade, like I said, there are two things. When somebody buys a digital product like a laptop, a phone, which are digital products that cut across, that come across, we buy across the border, that's a product, but it's a digital product. That can be seen as digital trade, which can be import and export. Or the other part of it is that somebody buys that thing through a platform, which is through an Amazon, through an AliExpress, any of those places. Okay, so we are talking about the services provided by the digital platform for facilitate trade. That's a different thing. So my point is that these three things are very different things. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
So do you get my point?
Yeah, I got. I'm trying. Yeah, I
your
got.
discussion based on the index you want to construct, your discussion is more of the technological infrastructure.
From what I say, you say, I didn't get it.
Yes, from your discussion, it looks like you are talking more of technological infrastructure than digital trade.
No, sir. I say I'm just saying it that it is part of it. It is part of the. I'm not trying to just say that it is what constitutes is what is going to constitute the index. What I'm saying is even the digital infrastructure is part of. It's just a pillar, one of the pillars of one of the pillars of the framework developed by the IMF and WTO for countries to measure their digital trade. But all those ones that you mentioned are also part of the pillars or part of the components.
Okay, so let me ask two questions, right? Number one is that why do you want to construct an index? That is one. Two, what variables have you identified to construct the index? Maybe that will give me clarity. You get my question? Abubakar.
Yes.
Can you get I'm asking a question because I'm asking a question so that for clarity purpose, right?
Okay.
Two questions. Why do you think you should construct an index? That is one, because so that we understand, because the purpose for constructing index is different. But why do you want to construct an index? One. Two, what variables have you been able to identify to construct that index?
Okay, the first question is the reason why I want to construct an index is because most of the studies it just captured one aspect of digital threat. Like maybe some study will just use ICT as a proxy. Some will use the percentage of people with mobile phones. Some will use the internet penetration. Some will use submarine cables, the coverage of submarine cables. So there is no studies that comprehensively captured all the factors or all the components, the various components of digital trade. So that's the reason why I want to see if I can develop a comprehensive one to capture the impact of all the aspects of digital trade. Then the second question is, although I told you I have not yet, I'm looking critically at the framework that I want to use. But generally speaking, I want to look at 3 or 4 more aspects. I want to look at the digitally ordered goods and services, platform enabled, as we said, maybe through Amazon and other platform. Then I want to look at also digitally delivered goods and services. So I want to work around this and then look at the other aspect of infrastructure that I can include in the index.
Okay, I'm trying to open. Hello, Dr. Afo, you want to go in? Go ahead.
Yes, okay. So our candidate, good afternoon. How are you?
You are welcome, sir. Afternoon.
Sorry, apologies. Apologies, I was because I just had a visitor who just
The
left.
apology is to the prof, not me.
Dr. Fu, can anybody? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I thought he was trying to talk.
Yeah, I think maybe he has a problem with his network, I guess.
So I want him to talk because he deals with data and he can tell us more of the data being available or not.
Okay.
Because for me, your explanation is more of how do I put it now? The explanation to me is more of capturing technology infrastructure than.
Hello? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's more of that. Dr. Fu, you can go ahead. Don't worry. Go ahead. Your network will be what?
Hello? Is it my network?
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead. We are hearing you now.
Okay, I thought it's my network. Sorry, somebody called me and
So
my
did you hear
network.
what?
So
Did you
once
hear
again, can assist us.
what you have said? Dr. Fu.
Yes, I hear partly what you guys have discussed. I'm just looking at the topic.
Because my point is that.
See.
So let me say one or two things. Maybe you can then say some things. So my point to him is that, my point is that he said he wants to do digital trade and its effect on economic performance, and he's trying to construct an index because in the literature he finds out that so many people are they are either looking at one side of it, which is whether internet penetration or number of people that have access to mobile network or any of the technological infrastructure measures, right, that are available with data. That's what each of what he has seen that they've been doing. But I think he's trying to do something different by seeing how he can capture all of this together with an index. So my point to him is that will be looking at technology infrastructure on economic performance than digital trade on economic performance. Because if you digital trade, it will not be using internet penetration, number of people that have mobile access and all of those things, and then constructing an index for that will now mean that you are not capturing all of them together. Even though all of these ones are part of what is being used to facilitate trade, but that might not be digital trade. For me, in my mind, digital trade to me is two ways. It can be buying product across countries that are like ICT related products, right? Or ICT technology related product. That can be made a digital trade. But the major definition or meaning or concept of digital trade to me is, buying a product through a digital platform, which is more like trade facilitation, which is the service part of digital trade. So as I said, those are the ways I think the concept digital trade will mean than using just technology infrastructure to capture it. So that's what we were talking about before you went. So you can.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you. What happened to your network?
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to log in from two systems. Okay, so you can hear me, I guess.
Yes,
okay, here is not disturbing. I'm actually logging for two systems. I don't know what is. Let me log out of one. Maybe it.
No, we can hear. We are hearing you now, right? Well and clear.
Okay, so let me say this. I think I get your point, Professor Bright. And I'm also thinking in the same way, and he has probably done a number of things before he decided on this topic. So maybe my first question to him is that what can we call what is digital trade? What's the definition of digital trade? Or what is the literature definition of digital trade? Hello? Hello?
Abba, can you hear?
Hello?
Maybe logged out. Maybe it's network through him.
Yeah. Oh, I think
because that
okay,
concept is very, very, very important so that we know that we're measuring the right thing.
So that we don't know.
Because to me, what it's trying to do is more like technology infrastructure, which is a number of people that the data is available, number of people that have access to mobile phone, percentage of the population, internet penetration. These are normal digital, which the literature I've seen that literature have used very well. But if you're talking about digital trade, with those ones be able to measure that? So digital trade should be trade for electronic means. Oh. So it's network, maybe network has.
Maybe the digital trade network has logged him out.
Okay, it's coming back now. Oh, yeah, Dr. Ford, so you can proceed. He has joined. Abaka, can you hear us?
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Abaka, what is digital trade? Huh? The network, I can't hear you.
Rather, when he was talking, I was struggling to hear himself that time.
Can you hear me now?
No, do you put it on speaker or hands-free? Put it in, I mean, move close to it or.
I didn't put it. Can you hear me now?
Are you using your phone?
Yes.
Are you using a hands-free or something? Can you put it in your ear or just you sound distant?
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah. I think you're clearer.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's clearer now.
Okay. What I was saying, I say in a nutshell, digital trade is a trade that is digitally ordered and or digitally delivered.
Okay. So trade that is digitally ordered
or digitally delivered.
So how is that measured in the literature?
So as I said before you come up, that there is no well-defined framework for measuring it so far. The only framework that is developed by WTO in conjunction with IMF and the OECD. So they provide a framework under three main categories. That's digitally delivered trade, digitally ordered, and platform enabled. Do you hear me, sir?
Yes, I heard the theory. So they deliver digitally ordered, digitally delivered, and platform
digitally ordered trade. First one, digitally delivered trade. Then digital intermediation platform. That is platform enabled trade.
So that is the definition. So how would you operationalize that? Have they? So if I go to WTO, I can see trade, right? I can see trade. I can see imports and exports of goods and of services. Have they made distinctions among digitally ordered, digitally enabled, digitally ordered, digitally delivered, enabled platform, and
as far as
among
on their platform is the data, there is no this distinction does not follow the frameworks they developed so far. They don't have that on their data. They just develop a framework so that countries can use it to measure their own, to develop it to measure their own digital trade. Using
so do you now want to measure? Do you want to apply the framework to measuring Nigeria's digital trade?
Yeah, that's what I wanted, but I know it will be some of the components will not be there in Nigeria. So that's the stage I am now. I want to look at the possibility if the data that are not available are very significant, then maybe I have to look at maybe what the prof is saying. Maybe I have to look at one aspect. I have to go with what other studies do. Maybe I have to look at the most appropriate or suitable components that will at least be a representative of digital trade. I'll just go with it, the one that is available. But I will want to try as much as I can to see if I can do something different from the literature, at least to see if I can capture based on these three categories. If I can find maybe a substantial part of each category, then maybe the other ones, maybe I can see how can maybe use some proxies or maybe look at the other possibilities.
Because why I'm asking you this question is, if you say digital trade, because I'm not sure, maybe I didn't hear well, but I could hear you mention internet something. Is that what you call a proxy?
Yeah. Yes, it can be a proxy. So many people as a proxy.
Why would that be a proxy for digital trade? For what you have said in terms of the framework, that's not a proxy.
Huh?
The framework, and then by this your digital trade, do you mean international trade, or it can also be domestic wholesales and retail?
I'm looking at it based on, as I said, based on this. It can be internal, it can be domestic trade or international trade. But it has to, as I said, that it is under these three main categories. Anything digitally ordered, anything, whether it is within the boundary of Nigeria or outside the boundary of Nigeria, anything that is digitally delivered from maybe whether from one part of the country or from another country, or and then the mediations by the different platforms, internet platform, whether it is a domestic or a local platform or maybe a foreign one.
No, you didn't get my question. I've asked two questions and I want you to think about them very well.
Okay.
Let me start from the second one. When you say trade in economics, often it is international trade. Often.
Hello?
I think maybe it's his network. Dr. Fu.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's his network. I think his point is that, which is clear, trade can be international, it can be domestic, right? Because even internationally across countries also, we are ordering and delivering goods, right, on the digital platform. But even domestically also, for instance, it has been taking place through Jumia, where somebody can buy something and it will deliver, or even through Facebook. People order things on Facebook and then they are delivered. There are several platforms. Gigi is there. So
yes, sir.
His question is that, is it domestic that you are considering, or you are looking at international? Dr. Afo, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Somebody was trying to call me and it's cutting my network.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you have asked the question.
Questions.
Because you may not have thought about it, but we are just arousing your interest. So your definition of digital trade, is it international trade or domestic distribution, wholesale and retail, or both?
Maybe I think based on what I say, it should be both.
Because you know why you have to be careful about both.
All aspects of all the aspects that you mentioned. So I'm not thinking of the boundary.
What did you
that I'm not thinking of the boundary, although maybe maybe when I dive deep, maybe I may think of maybe I will see some maybe reasons why I have to maybe think of either international or maybe domestic. But based on what I want to do now is, I want to look at the transactions. I want to look at the thread in different and distinct categories, whether it is within the Nigeria or done by between the nationals of Nigeria or outside the country. So I want to look at all the aspects of trade, whether domestic or international trade. For now.
Okay, you know why you have to be careful and define your variables and scope very well. Let me just let me allow you to see the import of that.
Okay.
If you speak about international trade, it can be trade in goods and trade in services.
Yeah.
Right? And
yes, sir.
Your normal economics, so that trade, you will rather tell us whether it's going to be imports or exports or both. Right?
Yes, sir.
That is international. That's your X minus M in your national income identity.
Accounting. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you come to domestic trade, is another classification of your national income or national output. That is where, in the case of Nigeria, you then divide your output into about 19 or 46 sectors. And trade will be one of them. That trade that is one of them, it has a component of locally produced goods